Hello and welcome to Tailgate Talk, another edition, Week 9 edition, which in most of the classes and most of the conferences means playoff week, but in Eastern A, they still have another week of the regular season. Unfortunately, Lewiston, Edward Little, and Oxford Hills won't be involved in the playoffs, but they still have their season finales this year, and of course, in the case of Lewiston and Edward Little, one of their biggest games of the year regardless.
Yeah, the final Class A Tailgate Talk of the season. Moment of silence, please. We thought this would be a bigger game, I guess, before the start of the season. I mean, I think everybody was, the consensus was that Lewiston would certainly be in the hunt for being one of the top teams in PTCA, and just hasn't materialized. And I think with the round-robin schedule this year, if you look at the two teams, it's easy to kind of compare their seasons because they've played the same teams, and really the only difference to this point was Lewiston beat Skowhegan in a high-scoring game, I believe, back week 4, week 5 of the season. But other than that, they've pretty much had the same results. EL and Lewiston have beaten the teams on that lower end of the spectrum and struggled with the teams above them. And I think last week was pretty much the game that typified Lewiston's season. It was maddening because they have so many athletes that can do so many things, with Turcotte and McKinnon out of the backfield rushing for almost 500 yards combined. I mean, that's kind of the Lewiston we thought we were going to see all year. Unfortunately, on the defensive side, we saw the Lewiston we've seen all year. They had trouble stopping some of those teams in the upper echelon, and they had trouble stopping Coney throwing the ball through the air. So that's been the kind of the dichotomy for Lewiston this year. On the EL side, they've been able to win some of those games against those lower tier opponents, and last week was a good signature win. They came back from 14 points down at Oxford Hills, a place where they've had some crazy, wild, extended overtime games in the past. And able to pull out that win. Quinn Leary making some big plays at receiver. He's been a big weapon for them this year. And of course, they've had a couple of quarterbacks they can rotate in there with Ford and DeLong. So the thing about this rivalry, like any in our area, and this being one of the biggest ones in the state, is these guys know each other. You know, the world's smaller than ever. They communicate through social networks. They've grown up together. They played fly football together in most cases. So their careers and their lives have intersected for 17 years now, and this is kind of the culmination for everybody. And
they'll be able to take out their frustrations for the entire season on each other this week, which
Absolutely.
Is probably going to make for a pretty good football game, actually. The other matchup is Oxford Hills and Coney, and is Paul Withy going to be there?
I would say Oxford Hills will be without Paul Withy in its final game. He was ejected at the end of the Edward Little game. Oxford Hills, I think both these teams think it's a game they can win and build something for next year. They've done some nice things the second half of the season. Coney's gotten a little bit healthier, gotten their receivers back. I know both the Shostak brothers have been in the lineup, and that makes a huge difference for them. They certainly have shown the ability to throw the ball. But a nice game against Lawrence 2 weeks ago and hung in there and racked up combined more than 100 points in the Lewiston game. So they can move the football, no doubt about it. Oxford Hills has kind of shown flashes here the second half of the season, especially on defense. They've been a tough team to move the ball against in big chunks. You've got to kind of pick your spots, and 2-7 is a lot different than 1-8. I think going into next year, both these teams have that unique chance to win their final game, which most teams that go to the playoffs don't get. So again, similar to Lewiston EL.
It's different, especially in Oxford Hills' case, because they've been 1-7 the last few years, and it'll be nice to get a second win for them. So that'll wrap it up for the Class A Tailgate Talk this year. We invite you to continue to follow us through the playoffs in the Class B and Class C Tailgate Talks. But for Kalle Oaks, Randy Whitehouse, thanks for watching.